Hey everyone, it's Brittney from The Pretty Plus, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. This one is a weight loss surgery Q&A. Over on my Instagram, I asked questions, like I put up a poll type of thing where I could ask a question, and it said that if you had any weight loss surgery questions, you could DM them to me or send them to me through the poll thing or send me an email. So I got a plethora of questions and I thought I'd answer them for you. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'm at The Pretty Plus on Instagram. You can follow me over there. I update my stories more often, obviously, than I update my YouTube channel. But anyway, it's been a while since I've done a dedicated weight loss surgery video. I have one coming up that I'm excited to share with you guys that I actually recorded at my 1 year weight loss surgeversary, and it's now been a little over 2 years. And the reason I didn't upload it is because the whole thing was just me talking about how I was grateful my body was like getting into working order. I was excited to begin the process of trying to get pregnant, and little did I know, I think like 5 days after I recorded that video, I found out I was pregnant. So it felt weird to put out there while I was in that moment in time, but I still think it's a really good video. It's 12 things I learned in the 12 months post weight loss surgery. So I still want to post that for you guys. I'll record a new intro so that it makes sense at the time. But anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I have another weight loss surgery video coming, but this one is frequently asked questions or specific questions for when I opened myself up for that. They're in no particular order, so they may jump around a lot, but I don't feel like organizing them first. I just wanted to take them all and share. So the first question is, do you have any regrets? If yes, what? This is kind of a two-parter for me. Immediately after surgery, I got pretty upset, like pretty depressed, honestly. The whole situation, all the emotions, and I'm not a person who, I've never dealt with depression before. I've never had like mental instability of my own that I dealt with. So I thought going into weight loss surgery, I would be fine. And I think everyone thinks they'll be fine. And I was not totally fine. I got very depressed for at least 2 months, maybe 3 months. And I just felt alone. And even though I had so much support, I had the support of all of you guys, I have my husband who's always super supportive, I have my family support, it still felt very alone because of the whole process. So that was a regret at the beginning, but I knew that my long-term goal was to get pregnant, have a baby, and since I've done that, I have no regrets. So 50-50. At the beginning, I had regrets. Now, here at the end, I guess 2 years out, I don't have regrets. The feelings that you feel in the beginning, the seclusion, it does go away. I can't eat like I did before, and that's probably a good thing because I can eat those things that I was eating before. I just can't eat as much of them. So, yeah. Yes, I had regrets, and also no, I don't have regrets now. Do you have binging problems? Yeah, I had binging problems before. I don't think that I necessarily addressed it with myself. Instead of eating 1 plate of food, I would eat like 3 plates of food. That's definitely a binging problem. And I did have some problems where at my highest weight, I would just eat so much at a time. And now I can honestly say I still do kind of have some sort of binging problem. I still want to eat quantity of food, but I just can't. And so I will say I want to eat a whole pizza. I never do that because I don't like pizza that much, but it's easy so I can eat a piece now, and then in an hour I can eat another piece. So it may take all day, but I'm going to eat a whole pizza, and you can still say I ate a whole pizza. And so there are little things like I could eat 2 cookies now, and then in an hour I know I could eat 2 more cookies, and then in an hour I know I could eat 2 more. Like, it's a slower binge, but it's still, the thought process behind it is I want to eat all the food. So yeah, I've had binging problems, but it's not as bad as it used to be because it takes too long. Who was your surgeon? I had surgery in Indianapolis, Indiana with Dr. John Mandelbaum at St. Francis Weight Loss Center. And yeah, I'm very pleased with my surgeon as far as my surgery goes. The aftercare, didn't care for it too much, but that's a whole different story. But yes, Dr. John Mandelbaum in Indianapolis, Indiana. Did you have any complications? No, I didn't have any complications. I was able to, I slowly introduced the food like you're supposed to per your surgeon's requirements or recommendations. And I haven't had any issues with any foods. I'd say I still have the biggest problem with vegetables. I can get pretty sick from eating too much vegetables at once. And I never had problems with eating meat. I don't have problems this could or couldn't be a problem depending on how you look at it. I can eat sugar and I'm fine. I don't have any issues. I did have the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, so that's not as typical to have all the issues, but I don't have any complications. Did weight loss surgery play a part in your hard pregnancy? Did weight loss surgery play a part in your daughter's size? We don't know. So if you haven't watched my pregnancy journey, I'll link it for you below, but my daughter was born very small, 2 pounds 11 ounces. And she was full term. She wasn't a preemie. And basically after, I think they say 24 or 25 weeks, my placenta stopped growing. So it was very small placenta and it wasn't nourishing her enough. And they didn't know that it happened because my 20-week scan was normal. I was still growing pretty normally, and my blood pressure usually is the thing that would trigger the warning signs of something not happening, and my blood pressure was fine until I was 36 weeks, and I delivered at 37 weeks. So they can't necessarily tie the fact to weight loss surgery, but from research that I've done, it does seem like it happens a little bit more with people who have weight loss surgery. So I got pregnant at 11 months post-op, and I'm hopeful it won't happen again. My doctor says that next time I'll just be monitored very closely. Best case scenario happened for our baby, and it could have gone a different way, but it didn't. So my pregnancy was fine up until the very end, and so it was fine until it wasn't, right? And I delivered, and my baby's doing great, and she's been wonderful. Even in her about 3 week NICU stay, she was an angel. So the easy answer is we don't know. The hard answer is probably, but we still don't know. And it happens to people who don't have the weight loss surgery, so we don't know. Can you do a recap blog post with an update? I can definitely do that. It's not really changed. I mean, things have changed because I had a baby, but I'm heavier now than I was when I got pregnant, which is pretty normal. And I was just talking with some friends today, actually, about how I want to figure out how to continue losing the weight without feeling the weight on my brain of losing weight, right? I don't want to think about the fact that I'm losing weight. So I definitely need to implement more exercise and things like that, but I can do an update and I'll link it for you below. It'll probably be a quick update, and I can just let you guys know all the information about, from beginning to where I am now. So I think my lowest weight was 230, 232 or something like that. That was when I was pregnant and before I got pregnant. And now I'm, I think, 255. So I have gained some weight, obviously, since I was pregnant and whatnot, and I haven't lost it yet. And that's been 6 months. I haven't really focused on losing it, let's be honest. So yes, I'll do a recap. Should I do it? I mean, I think that people really need to consider all of their options and their life situation before they decide to do it. I can't with certainty tell any person, yes, you should do it, because it's so very personal for every person, and I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish I didn't feel like it was the only choice for me, but it really ended up being the best choice for me and for my family, and I'm grateful that I had it done, and I do not regret it. but every person's going to have to choose for themselves. So if that means if you're strongly considering it, talk with a doctor. So get to a surgeon's office, get with a nutritionist that specializes it, and start figuring that out, because you're going to have a process of going through the whole situation, and you'll meet with the psychiatrist and things like that, and they will be able to help you decide if you should do it. I'm definitely not the person to help you decide if you should do it, but maybe you should do it. I don't know. Did it help your PCOS? Yes. So before I had surgery, I hadn't had a period in about 3 years. And then right after surgery, I've had periods regularly since I dropped that first, like, initial large amount of weight. I've had periods regularly. I had my baby, which is the number one thing I wanted to do and the biggest PCOS hump or hurdle that I wanted to get over. Did it help other symptoms? So I still have a lot of hair on my chin. I'm just a hairy person now. Like, I've been hairy before, and then before I had the baby, it was getting better, so much better. My hair was growing back, that I had lost a lot of hair. My beard here that I grow, like, I swear if I let it go, it'd probably be a full beard, was getting better. The hair on other parts of my body, aka all over my body, was getting less and less, but then I had the baby and now it's back again. So, but I am still having periods. What other issues have I had? The HS, which I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've talked about it. It's like the lumps that you get inside your vaginal walls. That's like a cyst. I don't get those anymore. I'm not pre-diabetic or diabetic, which I was technically in the diabetic range. I don't have sleep apnea. I don't have high blood pressure. All those things that were PCOS related or, weight related before, I don't have anymore. And that is a great success. So yes, it did help my PCOS. How much weight did you lose? So I was 330 at my highest, and then I got down to about 230. So I lost about 100 pounds, around there. It's kind of hard to say because of the whole pregnancy thing. But now I'm about 255. So what does that mean? 75 pounds? 75 pounds? And I can always say I was considered a slow loser because I lost the weight slower, and I'm fine with that. I'm honestly loving my body at every stage, so it doesn't bother me that I haven't lost 200 pounds or 150 pounds or whatever it would be to make me like a skinny person, because it's never been what I necessarily want to be. I just wanted to be healthy enough to make a family and to make my health better. So like I said, no pre-diabetes or diabetes, no high blood pressure, no sleep apnea. All those things that were horrible for me are no longer horrible for me, and I consider that the biggest success over the actual number on the scale. How different is it now versus when you first had the surgery? So different. When I first had the surgery, I had to do just liquids, and then like the first stage of eating is 2 ounces of just mush. And now I'd say, I don't know how to relate this. I can eat more, and it's obviously different for like what you're eating, but say I could eat at the beginning 2 ounces of mush, right? Like a condiment cup of mush. So now if I'm speaking like mush, like I can eat like, I'm trying to think of something that everyone knows like the size of. So like a small cup of chili at Wendy's, I can eat one of those and I'm full. Like full. Like I'm not eating any more. Small cup of chili at Wendy's, full. Like a chicken sandwich from Wendy's, over full. Like I don't know why I'm equating Wendy's. I think that's just like, everyone knows Wendy's, right? Like a piece of pizza, like a piece of big pizza fills me up. Usually like 2 pieces of like normal pizza I can do, but that's like, and that makes me like very full. It's very different. I still can eat the things I ate before, just less of them, and isn't that kind of the goal anyway? My issue was portion control, and now I'm able to control my portion. And yeah, just because of the tool that I was given from the surgery of having a smaller stomach, because I probably wouldn't be able to control myself otherwise. I already told you guys that I like binge ate things before, and I probably still would now, but I can't, and I'm glad I can't because it's helping me a lot, which is the goal, right? Did it hurt after? Yeah, it did. For a few days I was out of it because of the drugs, but I hurt. I slept on my couch for a long time. I had to sleep on my couch for probably 2 weeks after my surgery, and I don't know how people can have the surgery and then just go back to work after, like quickly after, because I was off for, let's see, February, March, April. I think I was off for like 2.5 to 3 months, and that was probably the right amount of time for me. I needed a lot of time to heal. It was hard. It hurt. Yeah, it did hurt. Sorry, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It hurt. How long after surgery did it take you to try to get pregnant? One time. So my husband and I were like, we'd had issues with trying before where we weren't tracking, but we tried for a while, and we just were like, this doesn't make sense because you're not having periods. And it was just a whole season of infertility, right? That we knew we were infertile, but we were trying anyway. But then after the surgery, I think we waited, it was 11 months, and my 11 months was in January. So I'm like, new year, we're going to start it off, we're going to start trying, like get in the process of what it'll be like when we're trying. And I think either the first or second time that we had sex, we got pregnant. And I say like, oh, it was so easy to get pregnant, but we had years before where we didn't get pregnant. So, yeah, it was pretty straight to the point. I'm nervous that next time I decide, like when we decide we want to have another baby, that it'll take longer and I'll get discouraged because the first time was so easy. The first time after weight loss surgery was easy for us. We'll see what it's like next time, but it took 1 to 2 times of trying to get pregnant. Did it make it hard to breastfeed? I don't know because I've never breastfed before I had weight loss surgery. I've heard that having PCOS makes it harder to breastfeed, so I think both those things may have been working against me, but at the very beginning when I needed to produce milk for my baby because she was in the NICU and she really needed my milk, I was able to well overproduce for her. Not overproduce in a way that it wasn't good for her, because it was straight fatty milk that she really needed to help her grow, and it was easy at that point. And then I think right at about a month and a half, 2 months is when it started. It just wasn't possible. I wasn't getting more than 2 ounces in a whole day of trying to pump every 3 hours, and that's when I tried all the oats and supplements and teas and everything, and nothing worked for me. So yeah, that really sucked, but yes, I think it did make it hard for me to breastfeed. Are you still trying to lose weight? Actively not really trying to lose weight as much as I'm trying to get into healthier habits. I really want to start finding something that I can fit into my lifestyle, which happens to be, you know, I work out of the house, I come home to a baby and a husband, and I just want to be with my family. I think I really need to start waking up earlier in the morning, honestly, so I can get things done before the baby wakes up, and it just hasn't happened yet, but I want to get more active and just be more well aware of the things that I'm consuming. And if I have a day where I'm going to have a cheeseburger at lunch, I just want to have the cognizance in my mind to be like, okay, had a cheeseburger at lunch. When I come home for dinner, I'm going to make a salad or, you know, some veggies and chicken. But I've been just everywhere, to be honest. What's your goal weight? I don't really have one. If I had to put a number on it, a weight that I'd like to see, probably just 200, 199 to say that I'm under 200 pounds, but I don't really have a goal weight as much as I have a goal to be healthy. How much can you eat at a time now? What is your restriction like now? I already covered this, I think, but I can eat like a small plate of food. Like, you know how normal people eat like the dinner plate? I always use the small plate and eat probably half or less what my husband eats, and he eats kind of a larger portion, but like pretty much about half of what a normal person eats at a time. Would you ever consider plastics? I don't think so. Maybe to lift the girls up after I'm done with the babies and if I lose a lot more weight. I have really flabby arms at this point from losing weight, and I have like rolls that I can tell are just like deflated. They're not going anywhere. They're like under my armpit. They kind of bother me, but I've never wanted to be some supermodel anyway. So if I lose a lot more weight or something and it becomes uncomfortable, or I'm at a point where I'm active enough that it just isn't what I want anymore, then I'd consider it. But as of right now, nah. Was it covered by insurance, and how much did it cost? It was covered mainly by my insurance. I had a different job back then when I got approved for the surgery and when I was starting the process, and it had really good insurance. It covered, I think, all but like $4,000 of it, and $4,000 of the surgery itself. And I think that we probably paid about $1,000 for like appointments and things before, which is still pretty good. So probably about $5,000 is what I ended up paying. And for us, we decided that it was either pay about $5,000 and have the surgery, or, you know, continue years of trying to lose weight on my own to no avail, which I had had issues with before, obviously. And then maybe try IVF, but me being at the weight that I was at probably wouldn't be as successful, and way more expensive, or trying for adoption, which would be way more expensive. I think that it was the smart choice for our family, both in getting me healthy. When mom's healthy, right, the rest of the family can follow suit, and also financially, because it ended up being way cheaper for me to have the surgery than if we were to try to do other terms of getting pregnant or having a baby. And did you experience depression? I kind of already answered that. Yes, I did. A very short term of depression, but yeah, it was really hard. It's hard after you have the surgery to mentally process all the things that you've learned in your life and all the things that have led you to the point that you were at the time. After the surgery, I was alone a lot because I wasn't working. My husband was working. Again, he was so supportive, but I was alone, and I just had to deal with all the thoughts. Instead of eating those thoughts like I had done before, I just had to come to full term with them. And I think I've changed a lot after the surgery. My mind is much more clear, because I can't really eat those feelings where my husband will be like, I've had such a bad day, I just want all the pizza. I can say, I mean, I've had a bad day too, but I can only eat like one piece of pizza. Like, it's just different. And yeah, I did experience depression, but I came out above it all. So that's a very lucky experience for me. I know some people experience depression beginning and then they don't come out of it, and that is a very real sad moment that I didn't have to experience. I'm grateful that I didn't experience that, but I'm telling you, it takes an emotional toll on you no matter who you are or what your mental health is like. So just be prepared for that. Make sure your friends and family know that it's a possibility, and make sure that you're seeing someone if that does become a big problem for you. So that's all the questions that I had received. If you have more questions for me, you can always DM me at theprettyplus on Instagram. My email address is theprettyplusonline@gmail.com, and I always answer my emails. Yeah, you can find a bunch of information about me on theprettyplus.com. And if you like this kind of video, be sure to like and subscribe so that I know, so that I can keep making videos like this. And I will chat with you soon. Bye.